Welcome to Jikoni Yetu. I'm Kavita and today I'm going to be making a pumpkin ravioli with crispy sage and toasted macadamia nuts. Honestly, you won't believe how easy it is to make pasta at home, and it is so divine. Let me show you how easy it really is. So let's make some fresh pasta. I've got some sifted flour here and I'm just going to take the spoon just to make a little bit of a well, and I'm going to pour these eggs into the center. I'm going to add a tiny bit of salt in the middle, a little bit of olive gold just in the center where the eggs are. You're going to grab a fork and you're going to pull the flour and just slowly mix it with the egg. Making pasta can actually be so therapeutic. Once it's a bit crumbly, you're going to want to start using your hands. Just start incorporating the pasta a bit before you roll it out onto a surface. Now we're going to use our hands and really get into it. You're just going to pull and press down and just gently knead until the dough comes together and becomes elastic and smooth. This will probably take about 10 to 15 minutes. So you can see the dough is like nice and springy and it's smooth. Once you get it to this point, coat it in a bit of olive gold just so that it doesn't dry out. Take it into a bowl and then just wrap it in some cling film and let it rest for about half an hour. You can see the minute you press it down with your fingers and it bounces back up, the dough is ready. So now that the dough has sat for about half an hour, we're going to roll it out. So we're going to start by just gently flouring your surface where you're going to work. Use your rolling pin and just go up and down. Once you've rolled it up about this much, flip it over, dust your surface again just to make sure it doesn't stick. Press it down and roll again. I'm going to slice it into 2 pieces. And we're going to roll each one out long. Okay, so once you've rolled them out really nice and thin, you can see they're nice and stretchy. Just lay them out. And we're going to start with the filling. So here is a pumpkin and ricotta filling with a little bit of nutmeg and cinnamon. The recipe is on the Jikoni Yetu website. Just grab a spoon and spoon a little bit in the center for the filling for each ravioli. We're going to want to leave some space so you can cut them individually. So you're going to take the second sheet, just stretch it, just take a little bit of water and a brush and just brush around the filling. Just a little bit, not too much. This will just help both sheets stick together. So just take this sheet and just gently press it. Stretch it out a bit, nice and thin, and just gently place it over the bottom. Now we're going to be careful because we don't want to have any air bubbles. Start with the middle and just press it down. Then you're going to want to work from the middle and just press it down while taking out all the air bubbles. This will take you some time, but it's worth it. Okay, so now that you've formed pieces of ravioli, you're going to cut them, but while you're doing that, just get a pot of water with some salt and some olive gold. It's boiling so that once the ravioli is ready, you can just throw them in. So I'm going to grab a cutter. You can also use a knife, and you're just going to trim the sides. And then the center, just be careful, take your time, and then the side again. And then the top and the bottom, there we go. And now, just through the center of each one. And what we're gonna do is we're going to use a fork and we're just going to press the edges down. Now that the water's boiling, you're just going to want to gently drop them in and boil them for about 3 or 4 minutes until they float. So as the pasta is boiling, let's start with the sauce. So we're going to take a little bit of olive gold, some butter, swirl it a bit so the olive gold and the butter mixes really nicely. This is going to give a really good taste. So you're going to grab a couple of sage leaves, as many as you like. Just tear off the stems and just throw them in. You get really nice and crispy and add a delicious herby flavor that works so well with the pumpkin. While the sage leaves just crisp up, the olive gold and butter is also going to brown up a little, which is just going to add a delicious nuttiness to the pasta. So now they're a bit crispy and the sauce is browned. Let's put the raviolis in. You just slotted spoon and just pop them in. And let's get a bit of a sizzle from the water, but that's okay. Just coat them in the sauce. They'll get nicely browned as well. Just add a little bit of salt to finish, just a tiny little bit. And some black pepper, depending on how much you like. And that's it. We're just gonna top it as we serve. Some macadamia nuts, and we're done. Wasn't that so easy? Next time, before you reach for that box of pasta, think twice and make your own at home. Finish it off with a little bit of olive gold and crispy sage, and you're good to go. Enjoy.